Now to other top story tonight on 11 at 11. It is looking more and more like the Rhode Island man, once known as Nicholas Alaverdian, will be making his way back to America to face rape charges. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John DeLuca.
And I'm Tiffany Murphy. Alaverdian is suspected of faking his own death and then leaving the country so he could escape those charges. ABC 6 News reporter Josh Kerman breaks down his complicated history.
I know Nick. I've known him for 22 years plus. He's dangerous. He told me one day, he said, if I could get your mother's maiden name and your date of birth, I could ruin you.
It's been more than half a year since Nicholas Alaverdian, going by Arthur Knight, was tracked down in Scotland by the Utah Attorney General for 2 rape charges. Alaverdian's obituary said he died in Rhode Island back in 2020 from non-Hodgkin lymphoma. But following COVID treatment in Scotland, Interpol identified that Knight was in fact Alaverdian and was still alive. A Scottish judge ruled that Alaverdian, or Nicholas Rossi, or Arthur Knight are all the same man. And according to those who knew him, a dangerous one.
Don't let him learn your information. Don't let him learn your mother's maiden name. Don't let him learn your address. Don't let him learn your date of birth. So he's a con artist and he's a registered sex offender. I mean, that right there should tell you.
Coogan is a former Rhode Island state representative and got very close to Alaverdian when he was younger, nearly adopting him into his family.
He said everything he told you is a lie. And everything he said that was being done to him is actually being done to others. By him. I said, really? He said, this kid's a bad egg. That's what he called him. Exact words, he's a bad egg. If you take this kid into your home, he's gonna tip it upside down.
Coogan hasn't spoken with Alaverdian since just before he faked his death. And now that a Scottish judge has announced Alaverdian can be extradited back to the U.S., Coogan believes the worst is yet to come.
I truly believe we haven't heard the worst yet. And I truly believe, I mean, this has been going on for decades, right? I think we have another decade ahead of us of what he's done.
The Scottish judge described Alaverdian as dishonest, deceitful, evasive, and manipulative. And it'll come down to Scottish ministers to decide whether or not to send Alaverdian back to the U.S. If he is extradited, he'll face 2 rape charges in Utah, charges for failure to identify himself as a sex offender in Rhode Island, as well as fraud and other sexual-related charges in Ohio. In Providence, Josh Kerman, ABC 6 News.